Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Becky at winzigcreations, and we're working on the Dephemerember prompt lists. So I hope you're well. I hope you're all doing okay. And if you're not, I hope this little impromptu video here, decided to do another one, will make you feel better. You know, I never do anything, I never take myself too seriously. Try and have some fun and see how we get on. So as I said at the beginning, I'm following this prompt this month. It's all a bit different to what I'm normally doing. So let's see how we can get on. I'm doing today postcards and handle machine sewing. This is the throwback Thursday from 2021. I haven't done any of, I've never done this before ever, so these are all new to me. I knew about it and I've watched it in the past, but I've always thought, oh, that's out of my wheelhouse. But you know, this year I thought, why not give it a go? And I'm so far enjoying it. I think what put me off was I'm nowhere near as good as Louise and Deb and Barbara, you know, and I don't do I do some mixed media. As I've said in the past, I tend to do it on big canvases, and I do big mixed media. I am set up to do little bits, but that I think was what made me think, oh, I can't be doing all that all the time. But I realised that actually you do whatever you want. You don't have to do mixed media. So I'm doing what I can do. Now I've got an apology to make because my last video was incredibly long. I'm sorry about that. On this, my last video on this was. So I've decided I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to cut down the quantity I do because I don't work very fast. So I've got myself some postcards. Now I have masses and masses of postcards, enough to last me a lifetime. So I'm not making any from scratch because that would be kind of a waste of time because I've got so many already. So I'm just doing 3. I'll show you those in a second. I just recap on the last one. Where are they? I finished 4 of them. I don't know if you remember this. This was the floating pocket. I don't know if you can remember that. And they go over a page, over a single page like this, and like that. And they have a tuck. This one has a tuck. I haven't done the insides. And on the other side of the page, when you turn it over, like, sorry, I should have taken that out, should I? When you open the page, you've got another pocket there, and I also usually lift this up and I put writing paper in here, sometimes an upper tuck, and the same this side. I'll probably put some writing paper here, maybe a little pocket there as well. As I say, I haven't done the insides yet, and I've done that one, and I've embellished them, as you can see. This one, the other prompt, if you're wondering why I've got such large numbers on here, was floating pocket with bold numbers. So I put some bold numbers on them all. This one I put a bit of lace on. It's the only one that's got a lace on. So these are the sort of botanical ones, the flowery ones and things. The 2 vintage ones I wanted to do, I haven't finished those yet. I've just put them with my vintage ones. This one I decided to use that as my bold number. It's not quite as bold as the others. And on this one I decided to use that one. But again, it'll go over the page. And this one's got a sneaky little extra. It's got this pocket here, which is obvious. But then this bit of this is actually open at the top here. So you can stick something real tiny in there if you want to, which I thought was nice. And this one got bits hanging off, which is fine. I've put material on most of them to give them all a bit of texture of some form. And this is one of my favourite flowers. And that's my favourite number. So I put that on there. And then this is this one. This one is just bit of embellishing it. You can't put anything in that one. So that's those 4, and they're all finished and they're ready to go in my stash. I'll do the insides when I put them in the particular journal that I'm going to use them. As I say, the other 2 which I did, they're not quite finished, so I'm putting them with the vintage, and you might see me doing those if you follow the vintage one. So I put those. I haven't got anywhere yet to keep all my Dephemerember in, actually. Anyway, let's move on to today. Postcards today. So I've got this one. This is an old one that I've just coffee dyed or it's been somewhere. This one has been handmade. Well, not handmade. It's a print, obviously, of a painting that a lady called Pat Hand drew in November 1991. So it's very old. It's vintage anyway. And I'm going to machine sew around that because the prompt is postcard and hand or machine sewing. So I'm going to just machine sew around that. I might put a little bit on the back as well, but I don't want to do any more to the front. I think it would spoil it myself. And this one goes this way. It's vertical, this one. And this is really, I've covered the back. I don't know what was on the back. Obviously something not very nice. Maybe it had been written on or something. And this one I've aged up a bit. That's how I had it stored. I haven't done that ready for the video. I'd had it stored like that. And this is the Hull Fisheries Roll of Honour First Class Diploma, it says. You probably won't be able to read this, but I can just about. And this is really, really old. The cards aren't probably, but what's happened, the information is, and it says George William Earls was duly entered onto the Hull Fisherman's Roll of Honour for bravery in rescuing a boy from St Andrew's Dock, which is a dock in Hull, on the 10th of January 1910, and then for rescuing 2 men from a ship, which I can't quite read because this writing is tiny, from the North Sea on the 10th of February. Well, that would have been a flipping cold, the North Sea, on the 10th of February. And this one says for rescuing somebody from a boat in the North Sea on, I think it's the 14th of March, 1911. And these are both 1911. So he very bravely rescued these 3 people. And there's another one there, which I can't quite read. Then it's signed by the chairman and the secretary. And it was done on the 19th, dated at Hull, 19th of October, 1912. And this institute, the Hull Fisherman's Roll of Honour Institute, was established in 1854. And it was awarded in 1912. Aren't they absolutely beautiful, these? And as any of you, well, locals will know, but people abroad won't. Hull made its name from fishermen's, and yeah, it's very historical anyway. So that is a beautiful card. So this one, I'm going to machine sew round, but I am going to do something with the back of that one. And this one, I'm going to machine sew round. That's if you're going to say machine sew round that one as well, and do something with the back one. Oh, my table's moving again. And this one I'm going to do from scratch. This one I decided I would sew by hand. I know, right? So what I'm going to do, I've got a bit of squidgy stuff here. I'm going to have to do that without that so I can see. I'm going to make some marks and then poke holes with my, just going to do a very faint line across here, because my stitches will be all over the place if I did them by hand otherwise. So I'm just going to do a very faint line. I can rub it out afterwards around here like this, so I can hand sew round the edge. And I'm going to hand sew with a bit of leather. I don't use leather as a rule. I don't only use man-made stuff, but I've got to do little marks now where I want the stitches. So if we go from this corner here, I hope my head's not in the way. I'm going to do every ½ centimetre, which is, so I'll do this as quick. I nearly did this beforehand, but I thought if I do too much beforehand, there's no point in the video, is there really, if I've done masses beforehand? So I'll just quickly go around here with my little dots. So it's quite easy and quick. It won't take me long. I did think about doing centimetres, but I thought the stitches would look too big. So I'm going down this side. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. I mean, I could just do random holes, but I know what I'm like. I'd get them everywhere. And any pencil marks that are left at the end, I can just rub out. That's why I'm doing it in pencil. I'm actually using a ruler, so there you go. I'm using centimetres, A, because I'm used to them, and B, I can get a smaller step. Man, you could use an 1/8 or a 16th, I guess. 16th would be very small. If you want to do it by hand, that is. I mean, I would normally do this with the machine, but I just thought it would make a nice change just to do something by hand, you know, just to show those who don't have a machine or aren't confident using it or don't want to use their machine on paper, which I fully appreciate. I have a separate needle for paper. And to be perfectly honest, my paper needle's in all the time, and I take it out and put another one in for material, because I so rarely sew material compared with paper. You know, most of my sewing is on paper, round tags and round stuff. So I leave my paper one in all the time, and then I know if I want to sew on, well, when I say material, I mean good quality material, like making something in particular. Then I can take it out and put a good needle in, because sewing paper does blunt your needle quite badly. It can also, when you go over thick things, it can actually bend it slightly as well. There we go. So I've lost my foam pad. I think I mentioned that last time I did some stamping. I have no idea where it is. Anyway, this was out of some packaging and it works just as well. So I'm going to do this as quickly as I did that. Hopefully, if not, oops, get careful here. My phone is actually plugged in, with a pokey tool. I'm hoping I can just go through here with a pokey tool anyway. Oh, yep. Oh, gosh, is it going to make that noise every time? It is. Oh, my word. Try and do it a bit quieter. Gosh, these still aren't level even now. Are they much smaller than... Oh, they are. Gosh. They aren't very level considering I measured them. I say that one didn't work very well because I did try to avoid the pop. Sorry, I didn't realise this was going to make that noise. I wonder if I can do it through a book or something so it doesn't make such a noise. Let me try this. That's a bit better anyway. The holes aren't quite so big this way either. I don't know why I bothered making those marks. It's not coming out very neat and even, but hey, it doesn't have to be perfect, does it? Nothing, it is only paper after all, and if I don't like it, I don't have to use it, do I? I mean, that's the whole thing about working with paper. If you're not happy with something, just don't use it. I mean, I would use that foam stuff if I wasn't videoing, because it's good to use, but I'm not putting you through that high-pitched pop every 5 minutes, so, well, you know, every few seconds. Just make it a bit easier for the needle to go through. I mean, unless you have your machine set up all the time, you know, doing something like this quite quickly is probably just as quick as going around the machine, but my machine's very easy. It's just here, ready to use. And as I say, I will do the other two on the machine. I don't do this sort of thing very much because it does hurt my my hand and my wrist. So anyway, I hope you're all okay. I think I asked you that. I think I start off by asking you that. Oh yeah. The other day I had he came in, a gas man. He came to service my boiler. Part and parcel of the contract. He has to come. I've got a contract with him. And, which is fine. But he moves everything. I mean, I have a few baskets hanging from the ceiling, which I understand. He has to move them to do what his job. That's absolutely fine. I have no problems with that. But he never puts anything back. You know? He moved my air fryer out of the way, and he moved a few other things out of the way. And he says, I'm off now, finished. And I said, well, thank you very much. And I go in my kitchen, which is where my boiler is. It looks like a flipping tornado's been through there. And I think, you know, now I've got to get the step ladders out, which I shouldn't use, to put things away, you know. And if I mean, if I'd known, I'd have stopped him, asked him to put things back. But he just sort of just, I'm off now and bye, and went, you know. And I didn't think there was much in his way, but clearly there was. So it's the same guy that my actual meter's in the shed, well, in the outside cupboard anyway, and he has to go in there as well. I'll never forget, it's the same bloke. I know who he is because he's a youngster. He's one of the younger guys that comes around. He took everything out of my shed, which I didn't mind, because he chucked it back in. He didn't put it back in, but he broke a couple of things. So I thought this year I'm going to have a word with him if he does that. But my shed's so tidy at the moment, he wouldn't have had to move anything. Anyway, I'll stop complaining about the gas man. I know he kind of serviced my boiler, but as I pay for him to service my boiler, you know. Right then, this is stuff I got given this. It's like a very leather. It's like leather. It probably is. I have no idea, and I don't know how much I'll need, so I'm just going to sort of guess here. I think I thought about using it for binding journals. It's weird stuff, but I thought I'd use it for this. Let me just thread my needle. This might be too thick for this needle. Let me just see if I can flatten it a bit. I've got a bigger needle here, but I was hoping not to use the really big one. I'm going to have to. That's no ways that's going to go through there. So let's use this big one. Let's do you like I normally do. Hold that over there. And put you through there. That's it. So let's I think I'll just do a knot, actually. I think I'll just do a knot. I don't want it coming unraveled. So let's do a little knot at the end here. And then you'll go. I just have to hope I've got enough thread here. I should have. There we go. Let's see if that'll come through here. Let's start here. Oh, no, it's coming through. I'll sort the back out later. And I'm just going to go around with a running stitch. This is like winzigcreations. She does sewing on there. Sorry, my cover's moving again. She does sewing on her videos sometimes, doesn't she? I mean, if you were mass making these and sewing them, it would take you a long time, which is why I think most people would sew them on the machine, you know. But you do have to bear in mind that not everybody's got their machine, don't you? Once I get into the ribbons, I must admit, I do like it. It's very effective. I actually have. I was looking in my stamps earlier to get my postcard stamp out, and I have some stamps. These sort of stamps, you know, I've got some silicone faux stitches that I could have stamped on here instead, but which I might do with others, but not this one, and not those ones. I don't mind it. I think it's nice as a small bit of decorative stuff, you know, maybe down the edge of a tag or something. But I'm not sure I'd want the whole thing done in it. I don't know. To be honest, by the looks of it, I've never used them. So I'm going to go across this corner here, like that. Once I've rubbed the I could have done them on the back, really, I suppose, but you'd have still seen them. I don't want them on the back either, so I will finish it first and then rub out whatever's left that you can see. It's quite effective though, isn't it? And the thing about using this stuff is A, it won't snap, and B, it's flat. It won't take up much room. You know, if I'd used thick yarn, which I know does look effective and it gives a lovely texture, it would have been a bit more bulky. And my journals are bulky enough as it is, you know. So I do a lot. Most of my embroidery and sewing is by hand, I must admit. I tend to use my machine just for sewing around paper. It's a nice Brother sewing machine, electronic one, and I use it for sewing around paper. And all my pretty sewing is done by hand. Although I have to say, I did take up my daughter-in-law's. She was a bridesmaid at my other son's wedding. Whoops. And I took up her bridesmaid's dress on my machine. And that came out very well. I'm quite pleased with the way that came out. I didn't count these dots either, so some of these are going over at the back and some are going over at the front. But I don't think it matters at all. This is something, you know, if you wanted to do this a lot, I think it's something you could do while watching television or something. A bit like fussy cutting, if you don't mind fussy cutting. It's very easy. If you prep them all, you know, you got half a dozen done because you like the effect, but you haven't got a machine. Then you could just get them all ready and sit and sew around them, you know, watching telly or something. Watching the television. In my case, the projector. I don't have a television. I don't actually own a television. I have a projector which I use for everything. It's got a stick in it, you know, a fire stick in it, and I watch everything on that. And I've got a screen. Obviously, a pull down screen from the ceiling. My house is, as I've said before, I live in a tiny house, and there really isn't room for a massive television. Well, not that you need a massive one, but you know, my obviously my projector is quite large. The screen's quite large, and it's mounted from the ceiling as well, so it's not like it's taking up space anywhere. So I get to watch on a big screen, and it's space saving, you know. Actually, those ones that I'm doing now, which I did on the foam, are a bit big, so I'm glad I took it off the foam and, you know, do it this way. So yeah, that's how I watch my YouTube and everything, which is why it's difficult for me to comment. I can like, and I do like them when I'm watching them, but to comment I have to boot up something else, and so I have to remember when I go on my laptop the next day, I should go in and comment on all the ones I've watched, because, you know, somebody's gone to all that trouble of making a video, and if you've liked it and want to tell them something about it, I really should go on. I mean, I ask people to comment on mine, so I should make more of an effort to comment on other people's, you know. I mean, everybody I watch has thousands and thousands of subscribers, so little on me is probably not going to make much difference, but each one counts, you know. Each one counts. Gosh, it's nearly 3 o'clock here. I can't believe where the day's gone. I know as you get older, time flies more quickly, but this is ridiculous. I had the whole day planned out. You know what they say about the best laid plans. And I just don't seem to have got anywhere near as much done as I wanted. It's surprising how much time videoing takes up. So what do I do with this bit now? Well, I could just do a nice knot here. I feel very tempted to go around them like that, but I'm not going to. I won't bore you with that. I'm just going to go over to this one and knot it at the back. There we go. Yeah, let's knot you here. Put a knot in you. I know it'll be seen on the back, but you know, you have the threads hanging out when you do it on the machine, don't you? There we go. Scissors. Yes, here we are, scissors. There. That's that done. I'll take that off and put my needle back up there. Put this little bit back on there. I don't know, this came in a box of stuff I was given, and that was in the bottom of the box, so I often get given random bags of stuff by people. I think they find out you're a crafter And sometimes people say it's complete junk, but it's amazing what we can do with junk, isn't it? There. To be perfectly honest, I really like that. I didn't think I would. I thought it would look rubbish, but I do like it. So that goes that way up. So first thing I'm going to do is stamp all through. I know they've got a stamp on them, but that one I'm still going to do that way. And I'm going to put a bit of paper on there. Cover that up. I think I've got some old bits here. Here we go. Let's put a piece of paper across there. I'm probably going to decorate the back a bit anyway, so. Sorry. Right, where's my glue? Let's pop this on here and do some embellishing. And if I sew by my machine, I'm going to have to pause you while I do that, but I didn't tear that very well, did I? There we go, and another little piece up there. And like I think Barbara did this, she drew a line down and across, but I think my bit of paper will work just as well. That hasn't got anything on. That's already got them on, so it's only this one. And I'll put a stamp on everything, but I want to stamp them if I want to stamp them with this and put some stamps on is what I want to do. So where's my bit of foam? It should be a lot quieter with this. So I'm going to use my Onyx Black. It's much the same as Stays On. This is one of the first stamps I ever bought when I started junk journaling, and so I used to make my postcards obviously from complete scratch, and that's not too bad. I think this mat is too squidgy actually. I might try and do it without. See how this goes. Yeah, it was. Look, that's come out a lot better. And finally this one. I love this postcard stamp. I know you can buy all sorts of different sorts, but I haven't bothered because I didn't think I'd use them because I like this one so much. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Spongy stuff, you know, good for stamping. I have to find my my sponge thing, won't I? Right, stamps. Let's just do some more on the back here first. I want some stamps. Where do I keep my stamps? In here, I think. Do I keep my stamps in here? Bad when you can't remember where you keep your stamps, isn't it? My stamps in here. Or are they? I should have got these out first, shouldn't I? The stamps are in here, aren't they? Where are my stamps then? Where are my stamps? This is very strange. I can't find my stamps. Where's they gone? They should be here. Oh, they are here. Oh, really, woman? Open your eyes, you've got to see. I know why I couldn't see them. Can you see why I couldn't find them? They're not labelled. Everything in that drawer is labelled, but these aren't. So anyway, let's see. What should we put on these? We want something. They're my sort of made stamps. These are all pretty much proper stamps. Hum. Well, not many of them are really proper stamps, but you know, stampish. A lot with animals on, a lot with flowers. Right, where's my flowery one? There. Right, we'll put a flower one on you then. Oh, I know you're a different colour, but you're the same flower. So you're going on there. Oh, that's quite interesting. I'll put that on there. Or on here. Actually, I think I know what I'm going to use on there. But put that there. I think I've got a stamp in here. If not in here, then I've got one of these. I've got a stamp in here. Fairly certain I have. Sorry, yeah, I have here. This is the stuff for my vintage journals I'm making. I've got a few bits through here. Yay! I'll cut around that, make it look a bit more stampish. I have actually ordered a stamp punch because I think that's something I actually would use. But I don't actually have one. I've got a die cut, but oh, I think that would drive me up the wall getting that out. Oh, I don't think that needs doing, that one. I just need to ink that one. And I'm not going around all these little bits. I'm just going to do it with this. Just going to do it with this. There we are. They are paper scissors, those ones. Right, let's stick some stamps on. Put you all away. And I need to label up my stamps and then I'll be able to find them, won't I? I thought they were in here. There you go. 2 blank ones before letter T. Ink, 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 ink. So yeah, I'm going to try quite hard not to have this video quite as long as the other one. If I can do that. Let's stick you guys on. Is this gluey? No. Oh, I've got a hair, excuse me, I've got a hair stuck to my bracelet. This is a cut apart from a scrapbooking, you know, from a paper pad. But I like that. That's nice. That's that one. This one's going to be going my vintage journals. This one is. What I like from apart from the knot here, which is fine, it's the same both sides, you know. There we go. And you, I don't know where you're from. I think it's a Pink Monarch Prince stamp, that. Probably. There. Right, I'm going to ink this, and then it's going to be, oh, I think I have inked it actually, by the looks of it. I went over it with some sandpaper because this was really vibrant red and really vibrant, and I wanted it to be, yeah, I have inked that one. I'm going to do the little soft corners on this one. If I get the right drawer, here we go. Get the right little piece of equipment. That's not it. This is it. This does my little ones. I want to do that one because it, yeah, that's fine. I don't know if this one will go in because they're not. Oh, it nearly did. Nearly did. This is a bit thick for this cutter. That's it. Just this one I can't get in. I'll have to do that by hand. There we go. It was too thick because of the thread. There we go. It's just this postcard, I think, was in a set that are all sort of together, you know, and it's got little pips at the top here. Just cutting these little pips off. You probably can't see them on camera, but I can. Right, that's that done. Let's ink them up. I just like everything inked. I think it finishes it off nicely. I'm even going to leave the lady's name on there, I think. But it's really old. You can see it's a really old one. Let's do you. I don't know when that coffee dyed this a long time ago. It's like I used it for a bit of mopping up as well, but it doesn't matter. Now they're inked and they're stamped. Right, let's get this stamp back out and do our Let's cancel them out, shall we? Let's cancel them. I've got ink on my nail now from doing that. Get it off. Get it off before it dries. Right, I've got one of these little cancellation stamps. I've got a couple of these. I don't know where my big one is, but this one will do. Cancel you out. You. And you. There we go. They're all cancelled now. They've got their proper stamp on. Let those two dry. Right. Getting a bit. Getting there. Right. Those two. That one and that. No. That one and that one. Waiting for the sewing machine. This one. Well, that is a bit of. Excuse me. A bit of work, doesn't it? So what have I got in here that I'd like to put on? I put a big butterfly on. I've got some. Well, he's nice, isn't he? I like him. I struggle with circles. I really do struggle with circles, so I won't lie. Got some nice flowers here, though. That's nice. Bottom there. I like that. Right, we might be going with that then. Also quite like that. Not that too lots of flowers, but I do like the idea of him being there, actually. Think about that. Think about that. Yeah, here's some more stamps. And then you've got some butterflies, but if we're going to have a butterfly on there, it's going to have to probably be a bit smaller. I don't know. I won't be using that one now. Let me think. Some backing on. I do actually like that with some backing on. Might have a number on it though. Have I got any numbers left? Oh, I've got a W. That's not quite what I had in mind. I've got some numbers in here. There's a number 9 or a number 6, whichever you want, because there's a dot on both ends. So it could be either. Got one of them. That could go on, I guess. Number 1. Sorry, I'm just mumbling here, aren't I? Quite like that number 6. It's quite nice. And I've got some letters here as well. It's a J. Nope. Right. Let's get a little bit of backing. Oh, I could put a tab on it as well. I won't put the tab on though at this moment in time because I wouldn't know where I'm putting it. Right. I might use a bit of that. Might use you. I want something on the back though, which is probably going to be, I think, book page. That's what I think I'm going to use with the book page. Where's my ruler? I got my fancy one out the other day. What did I do with it? Did I put it away? No, I didn't. Here we are. I got this one out the other day. So let's do this. It's like deja vu. I was doing this the other day. Let's just take that corner off. This has got holes in. Never mind. I don't think it matters. Put you over there. This is the bit I used to thread holes in, but hey. This half. I want it on this half. I want something else in the background besides this. Let me just have a look at my bits and bobs box here. I've got all sorts of bits and bobs. I don't know if you can see this tray, but this is what I keep my bits and bobs in. I've got some coffee dyed doilies. And oh, that would look nice, wouldn't it? Oh, I've got half one here. Look, shows I use them in half. How about a bit of that? And how about one of these over here like this? We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm enjoying some of these bits. Let's see what I've got in here. Yeah, we're too busy. Nope, don't want any of those. They can go back. Other scrappy bits. I've got some other scrappy bits here. Nope. quite a nice piece. I quite like the look of that. We'll see what we can do with that. No, they're all too busy. I want generic. Right. They're all textural. I'm not doing textural right now. Put you over there for a minute and see what we can make with this. These bits. I think I'll use a bit of you. Let's just cut you down a bit. I'm liking this. This is nice. Oh, I like that. Let's just give that a mark so I know where to tear it. Where's my pencil? There it is. Oh, there's one there. I'm not sure about the straight edges though, but I think I'm going to mark it. Yeah, I think I'll leave the straight edges. I wasn't sure about them, but I'm going to leave the straight edges on this occasion. Oh, it's a bit of rubbish. Where's my mark? There's my mark. Sorry if you got my head then. Right, let's ink you up. Don't ask me where this came from. I have no idea where this came from. I come across these little scrappy bits and I keep them. It's probably from a kit of some sort, or I don't know. It's quite hard. Did I print this out? Oh yeah, I don't know if I did or not. I think I did. From something. Right, let's glue you on. Oops. Don't know which way it went, but it doesn't really matter either way, does it? Oh, I didn't want it straight though. Really? I didn't want it to move it. There we go. It would. Yeah, pop you on there. Use this holy bit, the hose in. So what's after this then? A journaling card and tiny letters. Oh, that sounds like that's my next one. Journaling card with tiny letters. That sounds like fun. I have got loads of journal cards, but I'll see if I can dig out some neutral ones. You know, ones I haven't done much to. I often have cut up masterboards in my stash, so I'll have a look, see what I've got for next time. To say, last time I did one of these, it was ever so long. Funny, the first one wasn't very long. The second one was really over long, and this one, you never know, it might be just right. It might be just right. Putting everything inside the stitches. That's what I'm doing. Here we go. That's that done. I want this bird underneath there a little bit, so let's give you a bit of an ink. Don't need much of one because I'm not sure if you're white paper. Are you white paper? Oh, you were white paper. So I'm going to ink you, but I'm going to leave it a little bit glued. I'm going to leave it a little bit not stuck down. I want to pop that bird under there. Pop you there. Leave that up for a minute. Hope it doesn't dry out. And glue you. And pop you under there. I just didn't want to completely different. This is how not, there we go. Not quite under as far as I know. It's ridiculously finicky, aren't we? There, that's it. That's where I wanted it. And then you, mister, you can go to the other side. And you don't need little metal ones because you've got your own. So you've already got your own antennae. So you don't need any extras. There we go. Pop you up there, I think. I have a thing about having my butterflies flying down upside. I don't know why. It just, I do it a lot. I know that. Oh, that can go away. Where's my little bag? Where's my little tray of goodies? Here it is. Here's my little tray of goodies. Oh, I've got these as well, haven't I? I thought I might use. I did a load on vellum. The vellum ones have come out nice, actually. But I also did a load. I did one lot, actually. One lot on... these are Tracy Foxes. And on... What's the word? Tracing paper. And they curl, the tracing paper ones. I'm not so keen on them. But these ones are nice. These are Tracy Fox's labels. I did these on vellum. So, of course, it comes... I quite like that, you see. I quite like that idea. This one's nice. Nice and bold. Oh, I like that. I'll put one of them on. It's a bit like having washi ones, you know. But these little... what's name ones get everywhere. This is a bit messed up there because I was using it and I didn't tidy it up afterwards. There we go. Let's put the cloth ones down there. And no, so they're Tracy Foxes that I've printed on different types of mediums, and these are ones I've done. I don't want anything too big or too in your face, really. Oh, here we go. How about you? I think I might run out of him. I use him so often. No. 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 You the problem. I like that. I'm going to do that. You two can go back where I got you from, which is there. Let's pop you two on, and then we'll nearly finished. I will just pause you guys while I sew around. Oh, that flipping mat's coming off again. While I just while I sew around the others, because sewing around the card is one of the main prompts, so we need to get that done, don't we? There, that's better. I like that very much, and I like the back as well. So that one is finished. I shan't do any more to that. I shall not. These two I'm going to sew around, and then we'll be done. So I will be back momentarily. You shouldn't notice any much difference, really. Hello, I'm back. Didn't take long, did it, hey? Well, sorry, just putting my chair back in. I'm really pleased with the way these have come out. There'll be a little bit of a short jump in the video. That's only where I've paused you. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way these have come out. I'm really quite chuffed with them. Yeah, so that's all three. They're the two machine. That's one hand. You can do them all by machine, all by hand, do whatever you like. But I'm very happy with them, especially this vintage one. I'm pleased with that old one. That's nice. I was very careful not to spoil this old one, you know. So I think what I've done hasn't wrecked it or anything. And the same with this really old one. You know, I wanted to keep the respect of these people, so you know, I'm happy with that one. And of course, this one which I made from scratch, which is great. I got given a load of water card of these from a friend who was no longer painting. Yeah, lovely. Really happy with how they've come out. Hope you like them too, and I hope you'll all give this a try. You know, I hope you're following along, even if you're not posting them and you know, doing the prompts. It'd be great if you're joining in, you know. Anyway, please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and give me a comment. That all helps. And yeah, please visit visit my videos, my other videos. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.